Hello there, welcome to the Love Movement. My name is Asanda. We appreciate all your support. Thank you for subscribing to our pages. We can't do this without all of you. Thank you. Well, today we have a special guest. Her name is Sibahle Sonke. It literally means we are all beautiful, and we are all beautiful in the eyes of our Creator, which is God. So Sibahle Sonke, with that said, you are welcome to the Love Movement.
Thank you. I feel so welcome.
Thank you for heeding to the call of joining me for this interview.
I'm nervous, but yeah. Let's see.
No, take it easy. Well, Sibahle Sonke, love is saying to you today, I pursue you, meaning I chase after you, I follow you. What is that saying to you right now?
It's saying that I am loved and He's willing to do anything and everything to show me that He does love me. That is pursuit to me.
Oh, well, that's beautiful. So since you've just explained it to us, was there ever a time in your life that you didn't understand that love really chases after you? And I just want you to relate that personal experience. Just share with us.
I never understood that love chases after me. And especially so when you feel like you're not in a good space. You're not expecting love to come find you because you're not good. You don't even think that love will come and look for you.
Sure.
So there was a time in my life where I did not feel any worthy of anything because everything in my life had changed. Relationships had completely changed. From family, friendships, work, everything that could have gone wrong was going wrong in my life.
Sure.
Yeah, I was in business and business was not doing well. Everything that you can think of, and I really felt like my life was just in a sinking hole, to be honest with you. Okay. And for me, that's when I began to see love. I did not see it at the time. It is only now, looking back, that I see that it was love that came to find me. For me, it was so bad. I had thought that, you know what, I need to do something about my life to get myself out of this.
Sure.
And there's a girl I know who had suggested that we go and see someone.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's how deep it was. Because it was suggested that perhaps there's something that needs to be fixed. And because I was really in such a state, I was like, book that appointment, go. Let's go.
So just explain to me, by seeing someone, what do you really mean? Was it like what? What type of person are you going to see?
A person, a sangoma, or whatever it was, but a person that can kind of try and help you fix this mess that you are in right now.
Okay.
That's how bad I felt my life was. Because I tried to do this, nothing was working. I was praying, I was praying, and I believed God and I loved God, but there was nothing happening. And I felt that, no, maybe I really need to do something about this. And for me, at that point, it felt like when this person came, it felt like, oh, it's an option. Okay, book the appointment, girl, let's go. And that was the setup that I suppose, for me, looking back, love was waiting for. Because from that weekend that I spoke to this girl, the week that followed was a week of action. Now that I'm looking back.
I'm just too curious. So did you end up going to see this person, or what actually happened there?
No, love scooped me away, literally.
Oh, wow.
To a retreat.
Okay.
Where I went to spend, it was a retreat, a Christian retreat, where they literally, you spend a week, it's a weekend of you and God.
Sure.
And I came out of that weekend having a new perspective of God being a father.
Sure.
I was reintroduced to His love, and my whole thinking and my whole outlook on God being a father was reintroduced into my life. because I was not seeing him as a father. I was not seeing him as a comforter. But coming out of that weekend, it completely changed my life.
Wow. So even in your darkest moment, love was still chasing you. Love continued to pursue you and made sure that he changes your entire course and redirect your life in another direction.
Completely.
Wow.
I feel like he literally came and dragged me by my heels because I did not organize any of that. I didn't orchestrate any of this. And just to top it off, when I came back, I had made an appointment to meet with a father figure from church. And the week before, prior going to this weekend.
Sure.
And even then, I didn't want to, because I was just really in a bad space. But he insisted. I was like, no, my daughter, I need to see you. And I said, okay, Tuesday, I'm going to come and see you. And when I came back, so I'm feeling great about life. And so I get to his office and we're chatting, and he says, God asked me to sit with you, to have a father-daughter relationship.
Sure.
I want us to talk as a father and daughter. I want you to just talk to me. Just tell me everything as a father would a daughter. I was in tears because I think for me that was the biggest thing that was lacking. And after spending a weekend with God, he sends a father figure who we then have this conversation. And my life, I promise you, has never been the same.
Wow.
Since he touched me in a way that is unexplainable. And that's why I'm in love.
That is so beautiful. That is just too amazing.
Really love.
I love how he continues to chase us. His pursuit doesn't end.
No.
So he's always interesting, and it comes at angles we least expect. I'm reminded of a time in my life. Mine is a completely different story from yours, because funny enough, I knew that love does pursue, but I was like, you know what? I need to help you, man. Things are not going the way that I want to go in my life, so I must just orchestrate things a bit. I want to get married. This was a couple of years ago, like long time ago. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to help you in this, because clearly you're not moving at my pace. You clearly don't have my blessed plan in mind,
Yeah.
So I decided to move in with a boyfriend at the time, because I was thinking in my mind that if I move in with this man, then it's a matter of months. I'll be married. That ring will be upon my finger. Lo and behold. Anyway, that's a story for another time. So, but what was amazing in that experience was that love kept on talking to me. And I remember saying to the Holy Spirit, can't you just leave me alone? Can't you just, I'm doing my life right now. I don't need your interference. I've got it all figured out. Just give me a break, But love so lovingly said to me, I can't leave you alone. You are still mine. Even when you are making your bed in the pit of hell, you are still mine. I cannot leave you. So I had to learn from that experience that, you know what, I can't run away from love. He chases me even when I don't want to be chased. Isn't love just too beautiful?
He's perpetually chasing after you.
Yeah. There's a story I just want us to share on, and this was one of my favorite stories in Sunday school, but being a child, I didn't have the interpretation of it, This story is about Jonah in the Bible, right? So just to give it a bit of a background, Jonah was asked by God to go to Nineveh and warn them that if they don't repent, they're going to be destroyed, right? So when Jonah got that message, he decided to go to another place. He boarded a ship to Tarshish, trying to run away from God because he didn't want to go to Nineveh. Nineveh was a capital of the Syrian emperor at the time, right? And they were enemies of Israel, like enemies. I do understand why he didn't want to go there, But cutting a long story short, Jonah ended up being thrown into the water, right? Because the lot fell on him, and he admitted actually that he's running away from his God. So he actually asked the guys that, you can just throw me over. Basically, just kill me if you want your lives to be saved. But God saved him through that. And he continues, and he went to Nineveh. And he warned the people all throughout the city. And amazingly, the king, they all fasted, they all repented, and they were all in sackcloth, repenting from all their evil that they were doing. But then, this is the interesting part. After doing such a great job of making sure that the message of the Lord was passed, Jonah was so disappointed. Jonah didn't want God to help these people. I just want to hear your interpretation of that part.
I love the story of Jonah because I'm Jonah. Jonah is me.
Of course, we are all Jonahs.
Because here's Jonah sitting minding his own business, basically.
Sure.
And God is asking him to go to the most evilest of people. And because we judge each other and we judge other people.
Sure.
We judge ourselves also. And if God is sending you to a person who you think, this person has done so many bad things, and they continue to just be bad people, and but God, you saying you want to do good for this person, and that's what Jonah is really actually complaining about. So, no, God, you're sending me to, basically like you're saying, they were the evilest. They were doing the most unthinkable thing.
Sure.
And we've got people in our own lives, in our walk of life that we have seen, that we have met, who God has been good to.
Sure.
And God continues to be good to them. But we feel like, no,
they're not deserving.
You're not deserving. But love is love.
Yeah. I just want to read. You just reminded me. I just want to read in Jonah chapter 4. There's a part I want to read. So, yeah, it's just as Jonah chapter 4 verse 2, it says, so he prayed to the Lord and said, Lord, was not this what I said when I was still in my country? Therefore I fled previously to Tarshish, for I know that you are a gracious and merciful God, slow to anger and abundant in loving kindness, one who relents from doing harm. Therefore now, O Lord, please take my life from me. For it is better for me to die than to live. Smahle, what's wrong with this guy?
He's even asking God to take his life. He's not saying, I'm going to kill myself. He's like, no, God, take my life. But isn't it a direct picture of religion and the love of God?
Sure.
Because I can say, no, but I go to church, I tithe, I read the
Bible.
word, and but you don't know the state of my heart.
That is so
Going
true.
to church and doing all of these things. And in that chapter, God kept calling Nineveh the great city.
Sure.
But from the outside looking in, because they're doing all of these evil.
Sure.
And here is Jonah. Jonah, I suppose to himself, he was a righteous person because he listened to God. I mean, he heard God's voice.
Sure. It's amazing that I like what you said, that in his own eyes, because in his eyes, he was righteous. But remember, this guy, he practically was a suicidal man.
Very so.
God was still trying to pursue him himself because he was quite suicidal.
Yeah.
3 times he wanted to die in this whole situation. To top it off, when he saw that God is not going to destroy these people, and God was actually amazed and saying, Jonah, can you really be this angry? Can you really be this angry when I've relented from destroying these people? He actually went out of the city. Yeah. And God actually, he made, just paraphrasing, he made a tree to go that would shade him. Yeah. But the following morning, the same God caused a worm to eat up the tree, and he was being beaten up by the scorching sun. And he got upset and he wanted to die yet again. There's so much of us in Jonah because it's so easy for us to just give into situations because we don't have the bigger picture of this pursuit. He is thinking that God is only pursuing Nineveh, and yet God is actually pursuing him, trying to fix him from having such an attitude of quitting and being so easily disappointed when you don't even understand the complexity of life.
He's thinking that this is about Nineveh. Yes, it's about Nineveh, but it's God trying to save him, to take him out of this misery that he's in. And God is giving him something to do to take him out of it. God is trying to show him that, you know, his life is worth something. Because in the small chapter, he wanted to die 3 times. But it's God God is pursuing him. He didn't see it that way. Same as in our lives. You know, when something is happening and, you know, we are called to do something, you know, you're in a horrible state or you're thinking, no, I don't want to do this. But when God is sending, it's for your own good. It's not for the other. Yes, it will benefit the other person. But it was to get him out of the funk that he was in. He was in a suicidal state. But he couldn't see it.
Yeah.
He couldn't see it at all. And that's what we do. We don't see that God is doing it for our benefit because we're not in a good state.
Yeah. So God continues in 9 and says to him, is it right for you to be angry about the plant? Because he was upset now that the plant had died. And he said, it is right for me to be angry, even to death. This is him responding to the Creator. Look at the boldness of this guy. But the Lord said, you have had pity on the plant for which you have not labored, nor made it grow, which came up in the night and perished in the night. And should I not pity Nineveh, that great city, again he calls it the great city, in which are more than 120,000 persons who cannot discern between their right hand and their left, and much livestock. Look at the beauty of God. As much as Nineveh was that city, he says these people are blind. Just talk to me on that.
We are blind to his goodness. We cannot see, and he really wants to just save us from the misery. And love will not let go until love says. I mean, he says that Jonah feels pity for a plant that grew. He could no effort. It just grew in the night and it gave him shade. And when he died, he felt pity. And why? And God is saying, how much more for people that I've created, people that I have poured. I've poured my love into them. Should I then just destroy them without having pity? Because Jonah was dead set. He wanted God to destroy that city because they were evil. But God is saying that these are my people. They are blind to me. They are blind to this love that I am. And basically, should I destroy them for not knowing? And not give them a chance. A chance that we are given now. We're given a chance to know his love, to experience it, because he's continuing to pursue us individually. He's continuing to pursue us. And I find it so beautiful that even in that how Nineveh looked, but he continues to call them a great city because he sees what he created.
Not what they've become.
Not what they've become. And that is what he's after. And I think that's just, it's such a beautiful picture of us. And us and the love of God, God giving us a chance to see. And he's still guiding us.
Sure.
He still cares. He numbers them. He says the 20, whatever
the number was, yeah.
And their livestock. Meaning he cares about everything. Even their livestock. And he knows the number of people.
Yeah.
So he knows us. He knows exactly where we are.
Yeah, you're right, because it says he knows the numbers of heads that we have in our head. Just think of that much detail. You know? So this is such a beautiful story, because we've all been Jonahs in our lives at one point. And we've all had an opportunity. I have, if I can talk about myself, where I'll be like, you know what, God, if you can end this world, let's go home now, you know, just come now. Just because of my own little experience, and I don't even have the full picture in mind. But love keeps on pursuing, love keeps on chasing, love keeps on loving us, which is the beauty of the story, that God was even showing Jonah something that he didn't see, that you never created things, but you feel so passionate about them that you want to die for them. I've created human beings. That's why I'm so passionate and chase after them, so that they can come back to me as their creator. So good people, with that said, Smache, thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for sharing with us. We just need to be consistently alert in the fact that love continues to chase. Love is following us. Love is always pursuing us. With that said, cheers for now.